Whether you're building a skyscraper or just launching a new app, there's one thing that can absolutely make or break your project: the schedule. So today, we're going to break down how to build a timeline that actually works in the real world, not just on paper. Let's dive in.
We've all been there, right? You see it happen all the time. Deadlines get pushed, costs start to balloon, and everyone gets frustrated. But why? Why does this happen so often? Is it just a string of bad luck, or is there something we're missing from the very beginning of the planning process? Well, here's the secret. The key to finishing on time isn't about pulling all-nighters or just trying to force it. It's about being smart up front. It's about building a really intelligent, tough-as-nails schedule from day one. And that's exactly what we're going to map out today. We're going to walk through this in 4 simple steps. First up, laying the foundation. We're going to plan our plan. Sounds weird, but trust me. Then we'll create the blueprint by listing, linking, and estimating all our tasks. After that, we put it all together into the master calendar. And finally, we'll talk about how to stay on track by controlling the schedule and adapting when you need to. Okay, first things first. Before you even think about pouring concrete or writing a single line of code, you need to set the rules for the job site. And in project management, that means establishing the rules for your schedule before you even start building it. This part is so important. So notice, we're not talking about dates or tasks yet. Not at all. This is kind of the meta work. It's where you decide how you're going to plan. You're basically creating a rule book that's going to guide every single scheduling decision you make for the rest of the project. Answering these questions right now is absolutely crucial. Are you going to use a classic waterfall method or something more agile? Are you breaking tasks down to the hour or just by the week? And how are you even going to know if you're on track? Defining this stuff now saves you so many headaches and arguments down the road. All right, our foundation is set. Now it's time to actually draft the blueprint for our project. And this whole thing breaks down into a really simple 3-part process that turns a huge, overwhelming goal into a clear step-by-step plan. Just remember this little mantra: list, link, estimate. This is the engine that creates your schedule. You figure out all the work that needs to be done, you put it in the right order, and then you figure out how long it's all going to take. It sounds simple, and it is, but you have to get each part right. So step 1 is all about breaking it down. You take your big project goals, your major deliverables, and you just keep breaking them into smaller and smaller pieces until you've got a complete list of every single individual activity. And I mean everything. If it takes time, it has to be on this list. Next up, you basically play connect the dots. This is where you figure out all the dependencies. I mean, you can't put up the drywall before the electrical wiring is finished, right? You can't test software before someone has written the code. This step creates the logical flow, the actual sequence of your entire project. And finally, we get to what's often the trickiest part: putting a number on it. How long will each of those individual tasks take? This is where you really have to lean on your team's expertise, look at past projects, and get honest about how many hours or days each task is really going to need. These estimates are the building blocks for the whole calendar. So, we've got our list of tasks, we know the order they go in, and we have our time estimates. Now for the really cool part. We're going to take all that data, put it all together, and assemble the master project calendar. And when we do that, something amazing is revealed: the single most important path in your entire project. And that brings us to this idea of the critical path. Think of it like the project's spine. It's the one single chain of tasks from the very beginning to the very end that has zero flexibility, zero slack. If any task on this specific path gets delayed by even 1 day, guess what? The entire project finish date gets pushed back by 1 day. It's that critical. This is exactly why finding and watching your critical path is just non-negotiable for a project manager. It tells you exactly where you need to focus all of your attention. Yeah, other tasks might have some wiggle room, you might be able to delay them a bit, but the tasks on the critical path, they have none. This is your project's true, hard and fast timeline. So you did it. You built the perfect schedule. But we all know how it goes. No plan ever survives first contact with reality, right? Materials get delayed, people get sick, unexpected problems just pop up. That's where schedule control comes in. It's all about monitoring your plan and being ready to adapt when things change. Oh, this is the question every single project manager dreads. You're looking at your progress reports and you see it. You're slipping behind on that super important critical path. The panic starts to creep in. So what are your options? What can you actually do to get back on track? Well, you basically have two powerful moves you can make to speed things up. The first one is called crashing. That's when you throw more resources at a task to get it done faster. Think paying for overtime or hiring more people. The second one is called fast tracking. That's where you take tasks that were supposed to happen one after the other and you decide to do them at the same time.
But let's be crystal clear about the trade-offs here, because there's no free lunch. Crashing almost always costs you more money. Simple as that. You're paying for more labor, more hours. Fast tracking, on the other hand, adds a ton of risk. When you start pouring a foundation at the same time the final design is being finished, you risk having to do really expensive rework later. So you have to choose your poison. Is it more cost or more risk?
So let's just bring it all together, okay? Building a great schedule really comes down to these 4 steps. 1, plan how you're going to manage the schedule in the first place. 2, create your blueprint by listing, linking, and estimating every single task. 3, use that blueprint to find your critical path. And 4, keep your eye on the ball, monitor your progress, and be ready to adapt.
So I'll leave you with this question. It doesn't matter if your project is just starting or if you're already in the thick of it. What's one thing from this process you can apply right now, today? Is it sitting down and defining your rules? Is it taking another look at your critical path? The real key is to turn this knowledge into action.
Thanks so much for watching this Alpha Constructions Explainer. And remember, a schedule isn't just some document. It's the strategic roadmap that leads you to success. Mastering it is the absolute key to building something great.